Alright, it's like 3:30 in the morning, and we are waiting for the car to pick us up and take us to the airport. Which, waking up this early sucks, huh?
Yeah.
Why are you excited now?
It's a truck adventure. Truck adventure, come on.
Truck adventure. He's so happy to be through the security checkpoint. Just pushy long line.
Tacos and tortas.
Yeah.
Closed though, which sucks.
We'll find something else.
If you're just now joining us, we'd like to welcome you aboard your American Airlines flight over to Charlotte this morning.
Have a wonderful afternoon, and we hope to see you again soon.
He didn't like the air on the plane. The second plane. It was muggy. The little plane. So, alright. Now what?
We leave.
We exit building. Yes. Exit. Exit to baggage claim.
We got no bags though.
No. So we just exit. Hey, look at that. Big excavator. Ripping up concrete. Look how thick that concrete is.
Yeah, that's gotta be. It's gotta be like 16 inches at least.
What size machine is that? It's a Cabelco.
That's
Look how it has like the blinking swing lights.
I do like that.
It's kind of cool. That thing is massive.
That's
Look
like
at
349 cat equivalent.
Look at that bucket. Man. Feel bad for the truck that's getting that piece of concrete.
Yeah, seriously.
Alright. Let's get out of here. What do you think? How's the air?
Hot soup.
Hot soup.
Gross.
Yeah. Ugh. Not my kind of place. Nice to visit in the winter though. But beginning of September, negative. Alright, it's like 5:30, 6 o'clock, something like that. Tuesday morning. We got here yesterday. Like by the time we got off the plane and then drove here, it was like 3 o'clock. So I didn't want to go see the truck after a day of traveling. So today we're gonna go see the truck. We made it. I am staying at my in-laws' house. It's a pretty nice neighborhood. It's a lot of retirees. Just walking the St. Bernard here. She's doing what she does. Come on. Sniffing everything. So she's a very young St. Bernard. All the smells are new. Anyways, we got an hour drive to where the truck is, and if I buy it, I will continue filming. If I don't buy it, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the video. I don't know if he's yelling at me. We are driving, Bryce and I are driving to Naples. I think we got there's a sign for Naples.
Got another 40 minutes though.
Yeah, 40 minutes. But I can't believe how many trucks are down here. I look at, it's just truck after truck after truck.
1, 2, 3.
So we've been driving from Venice, Northport. Probably, what would you say, like a half an hour now? Probably like 40 minutes, honestly. And we must have passed at least 100 triaxles.
At least all triaxles. We're passing. It's a sight when we see a tractor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a tractor.
Yeah, right there. Funny enough, right as I say that.
Yeah.
It's all triaxles.
But it's like, I just can't believe how many trucks are down here. So, like, at first I was like, oh, I wonder why this guy's selling this truck. And I'm like, I don't know. I just think the market's flooded. Look, there's another triaxle. Nice Kenworth. And there's a couple more ahead of us.
going that way. So I think the market must be flooded down here with triaxles. The only thing of it is, we got to be careful when we look at this thing to make sure it has the proper specs for Massachusetts. So when I had talked to the guy originally, he said it had 20,000 pound front axle, 20,000 pound lift axle, pusher, tag, whatever you want to call it, and 46,000 rears. So that gets me the overweight permit back in Massachusetts that I need. However, I'll probably have to take it to the dealer when I get back and have them write a certification letter. There's another triaxle coming onto the ramp. That's a nice one. There's just dump trucks everywhere here. So, anyways, that is a nice one. Purple and white.
Let's see if we pass it. There she is.
I mean, they're all nice down here, but there is still some worries about specs, Florida versus Mass. But I do have some friends that have bought trucks down here and brought them back to Mass with no problem. So I know some other states it's not, like you go out Midwest and everybody's running like 40, 38s and 40 rears on some of their trucks. But and then like North Carolina's got quads. Those are too long for where I am for a straight truck. So anyways, we'll check this out, and hopefully the next time I talk to you, there's another one. Look at that. That's a nice Pete. It's like non-stop. Hopefully we'll check this out, and the next time you see me, I'll be telling you about the truck. If not, next time you see me, I'll be on the plane going home.
We are back at my in-laws' house, and the first truck we went and looked at, the Kenworth. I had two trucks I was looking at. So I was looking at a Kenworth W900. It was awesome. It was phenomenal. We test drove it. We took a creeper with a flashlight. We crawled under the whole thing. The body was great. The body was like brand new.
Yeah.
I mean, tons of new parts. Walking beam Hendricksons is what I like for dump trucks. All rebushed. All the suspension redone. New kingpins. New exhaust stack. New pipes going to the turbo from the turbo back. Too much stuff to list. Awesome truck. Told the guy, yeah, I'll take it. Went to his bank, called my bank, was gonna wire transfer it. We're standing there, and I told him, bring the title with you. I'll sign it at the bank. We'll do the exchange there. And I'm looking down at it, and I'm like, hey, what's this title? It says rebuilt. And he goes, I said, this is not a clean title? And he goes, no, it's a rebuilt title. And I'm like, oh, no. So called a few people I know, and they said you can do it, but it takes a little bit. And so then I made like 3 phone calls, and then I decided I'm not gonna take a chance, and I'm not gonna do it. And I probably should have asked the guy, but I wasn't thinking about it because it's not common where I live. We don't see that anymore, salvage titles. I guess here in Florida they call it a rebuilt title, which I asked some people, and I was Googling it, and I was just going through it, and then I told them, I'm just going to pass. I can't lightning, thunder. I can't take a chance on it. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to take a chance on a salvage vehicle, salvage title, whatever. One of the guys I talked to, who's an older guy, has been around forever, says you can do it, but it's a headache, and you have to. In one of the things we saw, you would have to get it re-inspected back in Mass. You'd have to set up an appointment.
The other one was like you had to have an affidavit proving that it was road operable.
Yeah, I would have to have an affidavit
from the RMV here
saying that it's road operable. So it just seemed like a headache that I didn't want to take a chance on, because as soon as I get back home, I need it to work. The day I get it back, I need it to work. So I don't have 6 months to figure out, red tape. So anyways, I passed on that. I'm putting this in the video just in case we buy something.
So it's in here. It's 3:30. I'm waiting. After 6, I'm going to look at a Pete 379, and then we'll see how that goes. I have not run across I'm 41. I've been buying trucks since after high school, and I'll say that if I buy one while I'm down here this week, it'll be truck number 14th commercial truck, dump truck. And I have not once run into a rebuilt or salvage title. So that's why I didn't think to ask. But the truck we're going to look at, guess what I asked him? Does it have a clean title or rebuilt/salvage title? And he came back and said clean title. So now I know. Lesson learned. It's a thing down here in Florida. So
Good morning, Bryson.
Truck adventure.
Fail. Florida. Yeah, that's cool. Again. But so Florida was a bust on the trucks, huh?
Yeah, the second one was a shitbox though.
He says second truck we looked at was a real turd. First It was no good. First truck we looked at was unbelievably awesome, but there's a problem with the title. So we're going home. Dirty air. We're home.
yeah, we're gonna get some of that dirty water.
Overcast.
Which is Dunkin' coffee.
A hot Dunkin' coffee.
A hot
medium
Dunkin'
hot,
coffee.
regular,
Yeah.
Milk and sugar.
That's what that song's about. Love that dirty water.
And Dunkin' coffee.
It's the overpriced, lightly stained water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, so it's been like 2 weeks later, and we're back at the airport.
Truck adventure.
Truck adventure continues. But we're going to what gate?
B19.
B19.
First it was B6, and then it was B12, and now it's B19.
They keep changing the gates here at Logan. Made it to Florida, huh, Bryson?
Yeah, the rain just stopped.
Rain just stopped. Sunny Florida. Two
didn't put it up all the way.
2 flights today. So that's 6 flights total on truck hunting trip, right?
Yes.
From a couple of weeks ago and today.
Yes.
So
19 flights every time.
yeah, so we're gonna spend the weekend. I can't meet the guy till Tuesday because he can't get the day off from work with the truck that I'm buying. So we're gonna go hang out at my father-in-law and mother-in-law's house. So all right, guys, it's 6 in the morning. We're gonna drive 2 hours to where the truck is. I'm not gonna film at this guy's house, but I have today's Tuesday. I have an appointment with him. He had to take the day off from work to deal with the paperwork and everything of selling the truck and all. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go pick up the truck and drive it back to my in-laws' neighborhood, and then I can do a formal walk around and show you what we got. Good morning. I got back late last night. We're gonna go over to the truck in a minute. I have to park it because of the HOA. I gotta park it down the street so we don't tick off the neighbors. That's why I'm glad I don't put my coffee down real quick. It's really nice here. I'm staying at my in-laws, and one of the things is that they live in the HOA. It's a beautiful place, but there is a bunch of rules. So my mother-in-law, who's awesome, had emailed them like a few weeks ago, the first time we were here, and said my son-in-law might be coming to purchase a truck and stay here for a little bit. And they're still building some houses here, and it's like down on that side of the neighborhood. And so during the day,
before a certain time, I can bring the truck over to here to the house to work on it. But like after like 5, it has to stay over there. So I got home real late last night. We were at the guy's house. Really cool guy. His name was Marlon. Oh, so nice. But I had to wait for money to transfer from Massachusetts, from my bank to his bank, and it took a long time. So now what I'm doing is I'm gonna be doing some little stuff to it. I gotta put the passenger seat in. It's common down here to not have a passenger seat, so I gotta put the passenger seat in and do a few other things. But I can't bring the truck over here until probably, I don't know, maybe 8 o'clock, and it's really early. But I wanted to show you guys my mother-in-law and father-in-law, their community here. They have this man-made pond. It's just so nice out here. The fountains aren't on yet, but there's a big bird on that one. He's probably gonna get knocked off when the water fountains turn on. There's 3 of them, but it's super nice here. I always come to visit them in the winter. I try to come in the winter down here, but yeah. So as soon as I can bring the truck over here, I'll go get it. I'll show you what we got. Alright, so I'm walking over. I'm gonna get this thing. It's a long walk over to the construction zone. It's already getting kind of hot out. So I'm gonna walk over, grab the truck, and then I guess I'll do the big reveal when I get back to the house. But it's a long walk. I got water for the journey because it is hot.
Do it again.
Alright guys, so this is what I bought. It's a W900 Kenworth. I did not buy it off of the guy whose name's on the door. He never took the other guy's name off of the door when he had it. He just had magnets on the side. It's a rat rod. Is the way I feel about it. So basically the reason I bought this truck is because the body's fairly new. The frame rails had just been done. It has all the specs to run heavy in Massachusetts. I do know that the cab is ratty. It needs a paint job. He did some terrible body work. But we're gonna paint it blue anyways to match our other truck. So when I was looking at trucks for the last 6 months, I was not looking at body work or paint because we know we're gonna paint it ours. Like I said, that's not the guy's name, but his magnet was right there with his name. I don't know why he never took the other guy's name off the door or whatever, but the guy got this off of was like the nicest guy ever. I really liked the guy. He was very honest about everything. He was very what's the word I'm trying to say? He was very convenient to deal with. I told him before I left I wanted to check fluids, so we did all that before we left his house. Also, I wanted to put new fuel filters on it, and he actually took me down to the place because he says the guy that's good there doesn't really speak English, so he went there, spoke Spanish to him, got me the filters, and then we came back to his place. He put new fuel filters on it. Yeah, I was gonna help him, but he actually put it on there. I'm surprised. This has a 12.7 Detroit in it, and I've always been a Cat guy, Cat and Cummins, and Cat, Cummins, Mack, Mack motors. This is the first Detroit I've ever. I've heard a lot of good things, like they're super reliable on fuel and everything. A lot of people say that they leak a lot. So far, I'll be honest with you, this one here, I parked it over there in the white sandy area, and this morning I was expecting some sort of leak, but none. Anyway, so let me tell you about this. It's a W900L 12.7 Detroit Series 60 engine in it. It has 46 rears. It has walking beam Hendricksons, which is I specifically was looking for because when I was first starting off in the trucking world, fresh out of high school, the first company I had, this is the specs that they ran, and I always liked it. These suspensions are really good off-road, super reliable. I didn't want air ride because my truck loaded does a lot of this. It's really creepy around corners. So 46,000 rears, 20,000 pound pusher, and 20,000 pound front axle. So she's heavy spec. She's a big boy. So at home, I will be able to get the full 77,000 pounds overweight permit because of the specs of this truck. And there's a lot of new parts on this. The frame rails are recently done. At home, back in Mass, there's basically a lot of trucks that I couldn't even go near because they would have been a financial disaster, because most of the trucks back in the Northeast, the frame rails are rust jacking and all split and blown apart. So I got a friend of mine that was selling a Triaxle, and I basically went and looked at it, and the frame rails are all blown apart, and I just said, well, you know, just for shits and giggles, let me get a price from a shop to do it. And the price I got, like the cheapest price to replace frame rails up in our area, was like $25,000 to $30,000 is what I was told. So by the time you buy a $40,000 truck and then sink another 30 into it, and then you're like, well, what do I got, you know? And it was a Mack Triaxle, and I am not a huge fan of Macks. I've always driven them, but I don't really care for them. So Hendrickson walking beam, the way that you check if they're slopped out is you cut the wheel all the way to one direction and you turn real tight. And if you see this tire walk out here and that one walk in, then they're worn out. This one, however, they are perfectly straight in line with each other. He said he just had them rebushed. He did new front kingpins, brand new front Continental tires. I'm trying to think of what else. There was a 18,000 pound axle on here, a steerable one, and he swapped it out for this 20,000 pound one, straight one. I like the straight ones. I have driven a lot of steering ones. I'm not a huge fan of them. My brother has one. He had to do kingpins on it because it's just like the front axle. You got steering, dampeners, kingpins, everything. So that's more moving parts to go wrong. You know, and once you grease it and take care of it, once you own it, it's not a problem. But I just, for my own personal, I mean, I've had some where you go to lift them up and they're not adjusted right, or the dampener's wrong, and you go to lift them up and they're crooked. You know, they don't stay straight. The exhaust is all new. The stacks are all brand new. However, I am thinking that once we get back to, you know, the Cape Cod, Boston area where we're from, I might have to take a foot off of that, because I see those as tree branch smackers. You know, it's wide open down here most of the places. He did put the Peterbilt mirrors on them. So they're not on the door like the old, like our older Peterbilt. He did put these new mirror brackets on here. I'm not a huge fan of the mirrors themselves, though. They're kind of high up, so I might have to do something about that. He said he was building this truck, and the last thing he had to do, he put a new grill on it, new bumper. I don't know about the bumper, though, because it's kind of close to the tire, but it needs a brace. I've been looking, guys, for like 6 months, like seriously looking, but I've been looking at the market for, you know, last couple of years, and I've been watching the market just go absolutely insane. trucks like this at home are like $1.50 to I got a friend of mine that builds trucks, and he's got one now as a 97 that he basically fluffed and buffed, you know, paint job, and it's 187, and it's just a tractor. 185, something like that. It's just a tractor. So part of me thinks I overpaid for this. I'll tell you right now, I paid right around 60 for it, a little over 60. But I didn't want to finance anything, so anything, you know, more than that, and I would have been uncomfortable just paying cash for it. So there's no payments on this. It fits into my business plan of no payments, and it's, you know, it's still 100%, you know, tax write-off. You know, you spend 60 something thousand bucks. So that's kind of was my thought, was find something that has the base foundation for something really cool, because I think once we paint it and do all the little things that need to be done to it, any truck you get's gonna have little things. I know guys that buy brand new ones and they rip the stacks off and change the visors and all that crap. So I think this one here, basically we just got to do a lot of paint, you know, and body work. Everything else just needs to be shined up. I'm probably not even gonna paint the body. And I did look into this company. This is Garpy. It's down here in Florida, and I googled this company and was reading all about it. It's AR 450 hard ox steel. So my friend that builds the trucks at home builds some. He does have some triaxles that he's built. He had a body there and he had a truck, and he wanted $90,000. For the truck is what he has it up for sale. He said he would give it to me for 80, triaxle tractor, and he had a body on the ground that was a used body, slightly used, for 25,000. So I mean, do the math. What's nice about this truck is it doesn't drip any oil. I'm sure at some point it will. You know, all old trucks drip something. But I did just notice. I never really looked at the turbo, but I did notice. So this is a 12.7 Series 60 Detroit. I did a lot of research on this before. I asked a lot of people. Like I said, I've been truck hunting for I've been actively, seriously looking for like 6 months, maybe to a year. But I've been watching the market for like years. Anyways, I did just notice this when my father-in-law, who is a retired auto mechanic, he's gonna help me. He's got the tools to charge the AC, because guys, it is hot in Florida, you know, as everyone knows. I did notice that this is an aftermarket Borg Warner turbo, so somebody's definitely done some work to this motor, because when I was doing research, I was actually like, oh, when I get it home, I'm gonna change the turbo out to a Borg, you know, like a nice Borg Warner or whatever. These, from what I understand, came with Garrett turbos. A Borg Warner is like an aftermarket one, I believe. So that's good, because a lot of times these little hoses here, they will rub like that is on the clamps and stuff, and they will get pinholes in them, and this is the actuator for the wastegate. But I know from driving this thing, this turbo is like right there, so there's definitely no leaks yet, but we'll have to address that rubbing on there. There's like a lot of stuff I have to do to it. So I haven't plugged it in yet to any computer. I don't have one. When I get it home, I'll plug it in, find out what the horsepower is at, find out everything. This is an ECM motor, electronic control, you know, so it's like electronic fuel injected, but it is double framed. That was one of the things. It was recently double framed. It's real super clean, as you can see. So new spring shackles, new kingpins, new front tires, so new Continental front floaters. So I'm trying to think of everything. I do have a lot of stuff to do to it, but it's mostly cosmetic and body work. It is a Bondo. Yeah, the Bondo's
The only real problem that I
in the fiberglass.
Yeah.
I think it had fender mirrors, he said. So he took them off, and he,
It's like this on the other side.
yeah. So it needs a paint job. It needs body work for sure.
Just little stuff like this. Like, take a look. Just little crap like that.
Yeah, and then like
And
this.
then, like you said, he probably was gonna paint.
I think he was gonna paint this surround, but I already looked online. I can get new ones. But like stuff like this, I mean, like that's like a not a good job.
The interior, but the interior is not in terrible condition for the age of the truck.
I don't like the interior.
No, it's just tacky. It's just tacky. It's not. It's got the faux marble on the door and the bright red skulls on
Show
the
'em.
steering wheel. Oh yeah, here look. So, oh, if I can open it. See, it's got the faux marble. This is like poly crap, and then again faux marble on the floor.
I don't think the pedal was put back in the right position.
The pedal was not. It's too close. It needs to go farther away because when you're sitting here, your foot's like all the way up.
How about the biggest problem?
The biggest problem I see is this red skull steering wheel. I mean, if you like this kind of stuff, all for it. I like,
Really?
you know, if you like it. I
No,
don't,
really? You think?
what?
Really? You think that's the biggest problem?
No, the biggest problem is that there's no stereo.
Okay, come on, seriously. All right. So how many miles is it from Florida back to Massachusetts? You gonna sit on a bucket?
Oh. Well, I'm not viewing that as a problem right now because we already got the seat. We got a matching seat to this one. This one's a low rider though.
In the garage.
It's in the garage, yeah. But you know, button tuck. It's a little dirty. It's not, you know.
There's no back window.
You can see it. Yeah, he wants to put in a back window because there's no back window. But button tuck, it's like not in the greatest condition, but for a 1994, you know, working truck, I'm happy with it. I think the shifter's a little too tall. But yeah, I mean, if you like this kind of stuff, all for it. But you know, it's not me. It's not my cup of tea. But you know, and then just like a little bit of peeling on the dash because obviously this isn't real wood. But apart from that, it's pretty good condition, I think, at least. You know, compared to a lot of the other trucks that we've looked at, especially this there was this one Peterbilt that we looked at, and the guy wanted it was a 1997 Triaxle. The body was like paper thin. You go look at it, and it's like without even touching it, you could tell the thing was paper thin. There was holes in it, it was rusting. Not even rusting, like rotting. But he wanted $68,000 for it, and the hood needed, like, you just needed a new hood at that point. Holes, cracks, all sorts of crap. He wanted $68,000 for it, and then the frame was rust jacked like you wouldn't believe. It was like completely split. You could probably fit a stack of quarters in between. Where did he go? In between the frame of that truck. It was so bad. But you know, this is what we ended up with. I like this body a lot. I like the smooth look. Don't mind the rib right there. I don't think it looks bad. But I personally don't like the way ribbed bodies look. That's just me though. So yeah.